Hello and welcome everyone. Today we're here to talk about the new Apple iOS updates and how they may affect you. My name is Sebastian Mititelu and I'm a software engineer at Fresh Relevance. I've been working at Fresh Relevance for almost 2 years now, and my role is to bring the best of features for the Fresh Relevance personalized marketing platform. As we go through the presentation today, it would be great if you could add your questions into the Q&A tab at the side, and we'll have a live Q&A session at the end. So first of all, a quick bit about who we are. Fresh Relevance is a versatile decision and personalization platform for commerce-driven businesses. The platform gives you the power to maximize customer experience, conversion, and loyalty. It offers an incredibly wide range of personalization tools and integrates with all the elements of your existing tech stack. It also tests and automates decisions for you so that the right content is always put in front of the right customer. The platform gathers data wherever customers go, then brings it all together in one place with the existing data showing real-time behavior and insight combined with the power to act on it. Product features include cross-channel personalization, dynamic images, product recommendation, data capture popovers, triggered emails, geo-targeting, social proof, and the list goes on. Ultimately, we help digital marketers achieve their goal of boosting customer loyalty and revenue by creating an optimized journey across all channels and devices. On average, customers see 25% of their online sales influenced by Fresh Relevance. So what do we know so far? Apple are making changes that will come into effect from September 2021 via their iOS 15 update that will affect geo-targeting from IP address, invisible pixels, preloading images in email. And we'll go through each in the next slides. June 2021 has seen a series of new privacy updates from Apple, including announcement of their Mail Privacy Protection Initiative. These measures are designed to protect the privacy of the end user. The changes will help users prevent senders from knowing when they open an email, and mask their IP address so it can be linked to other online activity or used to determine their location. These changes will affect users who use iMail as their email client and have opted in to Mail Privacy Protection. Given the wording of the opt-in, industry experts are predicting a near 90% opt-in rate. Craig Federighi, the Senior Vice President of Software Engineering at Apple, said, "Every year we push ourselves to develop new technology to help users take more control of their data and make informed decisions about whom they share it with." Close quote. And with growing consumer concerns over privacy and the so-called cookie apocalypse on the horizon, these updates perhaps come as no surprise. So now going through each topics, we're going through the location-based content. So location-based content helps you engage your recipients by tailoring the experience based on where they're located, ensuring that they see offers most relevant to their current context. The Apple updates will have implications for technology that relies on opening IP addresses for location-based content, which have long been viewed as invasive in the industry. Since email IP geo-targeting is notoriously unreliable, Fresh Relevance has always given our clients many more accurate and ethical ways of understanding a recipient's location, including website IP tracking and integrations into CRMs. This means with Fresh Relevance, you'll still be able to engage subscribers who use Apple Mail with location-based content, regardless of the privacy updates. At Fresh Relevance, we're passionate about helping our clients succeed with personalization whilst protecting consumers' rights to privacy and transparency. As big proponents of online privacy, we welcome the changes Apple are making and look forward to these becoming industry standard. Over the past years, we've steadily reduced our reliance on these styles of tracking, and this in turn means that the effects of these changes for Fresh Relevance customers are relatively minimal. Now going to invisible pixels and live content. So they allow marketers to know when their emails have been opened. With the Apple Mail privacy updates, invisible pixels will be banned, meaning marketers will no longer have the ability, and what's more, it will seem as though every mail sent to an opted-in Apple device has been opened. Live email content is content that populates at time of open rather than the time of send, which will also be affected. This means if your ESP or dynamic image provider charges you per impression, you may end up being significantly overcharged for phantom opens, as well as having implications for those who measure open rates and send time optimization. The upcoming changes mean that most email content will no longer be loaded at open time within Apple Mail, which will have implications for the use of live content in emails to recipients using Apple Mail who have opted into privacy updates. As such, it's more important than ever to have a real understanding of your customer profiles to ensure your personalized content is as accurate as possible before send. Fresh Relevance provides unlimited opens at no additional cost, so you can continue to send to your audience without worrying about a huge bill. Email content powered by Fresh Relevance will be generated between send time and open time within Apple Mail. We will encourage many of our customers to throttle their send times to afford them the opportunity to A/B test effectively. Fresh Relevance uses a wealth of real-time customer data to empower clients to deliver one-to-one experience at scale. With Fresh Relevance, your segments will always be up to date with real-time behavioral and transactional data, and you can gain a better understanding of your customers through audience analytics. This means you'll be able to craft personalized emails that resonate with each customer without the need to rely on live content. And now, just before we wrap up, I wanted to let you know that we have a really useful checklist for you to download on 5 essential tactics to maximize your email performance. The link will be posted in the chat at the site there if you are interested. And now it's time for Q&A, and I'd like to invite Mike Austin, CEO and co-founder of Fresh Relevance, onto the stage to answer burning questions. If you haven't already, please post your questions into the sidebar, and now we'll do our best to answer them.
Thanks, Seb. That was great. So while we wait for questions from the floor to come in, I can see there's a couple ready from our support team that asked. So will the images for different recipients appear differently? Yes, they will. As far as we know from at the moment, iMail is opening the images with the full URL that is specified. So in the case of personalized images from Fresh Relevance, that means that person A will see the image personalized for them, person B will see the image personalized for them. But it will not be opened at the point when the person opens it. It will be opened actually by the iMail client earlier than that, so before they usually the user will have seen it. So it won't be at send time, it'll be at some period between when the email is sent and when the person opens it. And it means also every email, as Seb said, will be opened. But yes, the dynamic images will still work, so they will appear differently. Sorry, I was getting some wind into my side. Next question. Are open rates going to become irrelevant? It's an interesting question. It's probably more one for ESPs than for Fresh Relevance, because we've never really looked at open rates very much, because from a marketing point of view, they've always been one of the least interesting metrics in terms of the final conversion path, certainly for e-commerce. But we do know that email marketers like open rates because they're a leading indicator on the success of the campaign, and specifically on the success of the subject line in getting people to open the emails. And that is not really going to be practical in the future, at least for iMail. So what I would say is that if you want to use open rates, then you're going to have to segment out the results from your people who are using iMail or normally using iMail to open emails, and then maybe do a split campaign where you send to people who have normally used iMail in the past and everybody else separately. Because open rates are still going to work just great for Outlook and Gmail and all those other kind of major email clients that are out there. So question from Emma. Will countdown timers be accurate if they're not downloaded when opened by the recipient? It's a great question. They will not be particularly accurate if they are individualized. So if they are for a particular person, then they won't be accurate to that person. In terms of what we've seen so far, iMail is normally opening the email images within a few hours of the send. It's not always, and it doesn't not going to work for everybody. So we don't really know what this is going to look like at a mass scale yet. But I think based on the tests we've seen so far, it's going to be the iMail will normally be opening the emails within about 4 hours. So it will be accurate to that point. So if you're doing like a countdown timer for an event that's several days away, then probably it's not going to be too bad. It might not be right to the minute, but it'll probably be right to less than a day. So, that may change the type of countdown timer you want to use. So maybe you don't focus so much on the ones based on the per second, but you can still use the sort of, 1, 2, 3 days away, or perhaps even the number of hours away should work. And the other thing to say on this is much like in my previous answer, countdown timers will still work for other email clients. So if you can split out campaigns that are going to iMail from campaigns that are going to Gmail, then it will still work fine. And for everybody apart from the iMail users. And depending on your client base, iMail might be probably somewhere between 10% and 40%, the kind of numbers we're generally seeing. It really varies a lot depending on the type of audience you're sending to. So yeah, and countdown timers, you'll need to segment. It makes it a bit less useful. There are still some scenarios where they're going to be working there. Another question: will other email performance metrics also be impacted by iOS 15? I think the answer to that is probably no, except that of course anything that's open related will be. So open rates are going to be seriously affected. Click to open rates are going to be seriously affected as well, because obviously if you don't have an accurate open rate, then you can't get the click to open ratio. But other things that we're seeing, like click-through rates and purchase rates, and obviously send related metrics, aren't going to be affected at all. So I think that those should be okay. As far as we've seen so far, and as far as we've been able to find out, iOS isn't doing anything like clicking in advance on the links in your emails. So it is only about the open behavior, where we have this effectively pre-open by the iOS email clients. So yeah, I think the other metrics are pretty safe from that. So that's all the questions we've got so far. Any final questions from anybody? And if not, I'm conscious somebody might be desperately typing. Then I think we will wrap up. If do get in touch, and Seb, I think you've got some contact details to share as well. You can get in touch either with Seb or with our support team with any other questions, anything you need help with.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Mike, for your answers. And thank you for listening, everyone. If you want to get in touch with me, here are my details on the screen. Please feel free to reach out directly. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks all. Bye-bye.